Hey everyone, I'm Dan Sindel, and in today's video segment we'll take a quick look at the 5 positions of the major pentatonic scale, and at the same time I'll demo some great features of Notion Music's progression software. In this lesson I'd like to talk to you about the 5 positions of the major pentatonics. And here in progression, this is where you can title your document. They give you certain areas where you can type in text. And since we're dealing with the key of A major, let's just go ahead and type in key of A. And I just hit the enter key and there it goes. Okay, cool. Another great feature of progression that I want to share with you today is the key signatures. Being that we're in the key of A, we just go over here to our palette and we select the key signature. And now by scrolling through it, we can pick any key that we need, anything in the chromatic scale. And since we're in A, obviously, I'm going to pick A. And then they give you a choice of major, minor keys, or one of the church modes. And let's just go ahead and stick with major. There we go. Hit OK. Now as you can see, our mouse changes, our cursor changes over to the key signature. Just click by the treble sign and it drops into the document. Now you may have noticed as soon as I drop the key signature down onto the document here, all of the accidentals that were on the notation have disappeared because they're now actually part of the key signature. The software is very smart and intuitive in this way. Another feature that the program has, just like any other good word processor, is copy and paste. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy this title, this text. I'm going to just copy it right here, Control C. And I'm going to come down to this blank area and say paste, because what we're going to do is I'm going to fill out for you the scale that starts on the 1st degree. So let's go ahead and retype it and hit enter. There we go. And as a brief overview of this lesson, which we haven't actually covered before, here's the scale that starts on the 2nd degree. And I've already filled out the next scale for you. The next pattern that starts out here on the 3rd degree. And below it here is the scale degree that starts out on the 5th degree. And of course at the top I've already pre-filled the document that starts out on the 6th degree. The thing about progression is just so easy to enter your tab. All you have to do on your keyboard is punch in the correct number of the fret you want, then just place the mouse over the string you want and hit enter. As you can see, we just placed fret 5 over our low E string. And now I'll just go ahead, I'll punch in the number 7, and I'll go ahead and place the mouse over the low E string, hit enter, and there you go. Now let's move up to the A string. I'll put in the number 4. Then I'll punch in the fret 7, place the mouse over the A string, hit enter, and there you go. Okay, cool. Let's move up to the D string. I'll put in the 4th fret. Now I'll put in the 7th fret. Awesome. Let's move up to the G string. I'll put in the 4th fret. And then I'll put in the 6th fret. That completes the G string. Let's move up to the B string. I'll put in a number 5. And then a number 7. Hit enter, there it is. Alright, let's move up to the high E string. I'll put in fret 5 and then fret 7, and that completes our scale starting on the 1st degree. So here's our first 2 notes just down here on the low E string, and here I can highlight the first 2 notes here on our A string. Now, why don't we go ahead and play back the whole scale for you. If we just scroll to the bottom right hand corner and click the FX1 button, we'll actually call up the Revolver Guitar Simulator software. This is pretty awesome. It's got all kinds of presets, anywhere from clean to dirty. And I'll go ahead and choose the Texas Blues. That's got a nice little bite to it. In later videos, I'll also show you that progression comes with Amplitude Duo, which actually gets a lot of great guitar sounds as well. Let's play this back. Notice how the software played the repeat sign? Very powerful. And here's another feature I'd like to show you. Let's say you want to output this and finalize it to a PDF, and you want it all on one sheet, one piece of paper. We have all 5 of our positions here, all on one page. Adding certain elements to your page will cause the text to reflow, and I'll show you what I mean. Let's say we drop a tempo marking on. Watch what happens here. As soon as I drop it on, you see how everything just kind of moved down a 1/4 inch? And since we're here working with our tempo, why don't we just bump this up to 120 beats per minute? That way we don't have to come back to it when we play back. Okay, put in 120, hit enter, now you've changed the tempo, which is really cool for practicing. You can literally change this to any tempo you want. Now as you can see, our scale that starts on the 5th degree has kind of bumped down to a second page, but we can fix that. Let's just go up to the top menu to score, and then we'll hit score layout. Now as you can tell, we can change our notation size. I'll change it just a little bit differently to, let's say, 4 point. Let's see what happens. Click OK, and everything just becomes a little smaller, and let's see if that fits. It's just a little bit too small, so let's go back up to score layout, and let's try it at, how about 4.5? Click OK, and let's test that to see if everything fits on one page. Hey, perfect. So when I print this out to a PDF and share it with you guys, this will be all on one page, nice and clean. Alright, cool. So now we're set to 120 beats per minute. Let's play this whole thing back for you so you have a document that you can practice with. So I'll just select it from the very first note all the way to the last note, and as you can see, so why don't we change our amp sound again before we play it back. I'll click that little FX1 button, I'll bring up our amplifiers. Why don't we choose a new setting here, and lots to choose from. You know what, I'm liking the Neil Zaza preset. Thanks Neil, it sounds pretty good. As you can see, it's got a bunch of different new amp settings. We got all kinds of different rack mount effects going on. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Now to play it back, all we do is come up to the top and press the play button. Now, if you guys remember, we were playing this back at 120 beats per minute. That's a pretty good clip, and you can change the tempo down to anything you like if you get the file from me. Now, there's a lot of things I'd like to show you in later lessons. There's a lot of cool stuff, like this virtual fretboard here. I'll cover some ground in our later lessons and show you how you can use this to create your scores and your tabs and your lead sheets. If you'd like to download these lessons and a lot more, just come on up to easygtr.com and sign up for our newsletter, join the team, and we'll give you access to all kinds of cool stuff. And that's all for today's video segment. And as a quick reminder, I should let you guys know, for a limited time, I can still get you a student discount over at notionmusic.com on the progression software. All you have to do is put in the code EasyGTRPro and save $20 at checkout. Okay, you guys, until next lesson, we'll see you then.